Here, and I want to talk about your messaging. I want to talk about the fact that improving your messaging is the number one thing that is going to lower the cost of your marketing, your advertising, your staff costs, your sales costs, your production costs. All of that has to do with your messaging. You see, a lot of people are looking for, at the stage of their business, a magic strategy to reach a bunch of customers through Facebook ads. They come to me and they ask me how to do this. And truly, every single one of them, every single person, their messaging is wrong. It's at no fault of their own, by the way. It's no fault of your own that your messaging is wrong. So I want to say that, because nobody taught you how to talk to people to get them to take action. So if you're not using the right words that get people to take action in your ad, in your offer, people will literally do nothing. They will look at the best product in the world and assume it's not for them because the messaging is off, because the messaging is not connecting with the customer. No matter how good your product is, no matter how much you like it, no matter how much you believe that people should buy it, no matter how much you think that, oh, and by the way, your messaging has nothing to do with convincing people to like you more. Your message has nothing to do with convincing people and making them buy from you. Okay? It's all about connecting emotionally to the desires of your target customer. And I have a course that I put together on this on my website, jeremiahkrakowski.com, called Irresistible Offers That Sell. It's all about creating offers with messaging that is aligned with your customer. That's how we get 4x, 5x, 10x on our ad spend consistently. I hear a lot of people saying, man, Jeremiah, I ran a bunch of ads and lost a bunch of money. I don't lose money when I run ads, because messaging is where I start first. We test the messaging with a small budget. We find what is resonating with the market. By the way, the market is the one that determines the messaging, not your desires, not your needs, not what you think should happen. The marketplace decides and dictates your messaging. The people who are buying your products are the ones that create your messaging for you. And then all you're doing is you're just talking back to them with the same words that they're already using to sell to them. And so if you're trying to sell a product to people and you're trying to get them to like you, you're trying to get them to like what you offer, you're trying to convince them to buy from you, and your messaging is not the exact words, word for word, what your customers are already using, what they're already telling you they want, you might be like, well, I don't want to give them what they want. I want to give them this. I want to make them buy this. That's a fantasy. That's not real life. That's not real life in business. And whoever convinced you of that sucky lie that you can make people buy anything based on what you say on the internet hoodwinked you. And I'm sorry for that. Okay? And so what you have to do is you have to listen to what your target customer wants and give them what they want. When you give people what they want, it builds trust with them. Has zero to do with what you want them to want. It has zero to do with you wanting them to like you. It has zero to do with them saying nice things about you, having a good opinion of you. All it has to do with they believe that you can deliver a solution to the problem that they have, or that you will do what you say you will promise in the product that you sell. So no matter what you sell, it does something for somebody. If you're selling music, there's an emotional connection. If you're selling movies, there's an emotional connection to that storyline. But not everybody's going to watch your movies. Not everyone's going to listen to your music. Not everyone's going to buy your product. You have to use the language of your target customer. The messaging, it's the words that they're already saying. You might say, well, I don't know what those words are. That's the big one. The only reason you don't know your target customer's words is because you haven't gotten in the weeds and gotten dirty with your target customers to the point that you talk with other strangers on the internet and get to know what they're dealing with more than you got your eyes on your own day in your own life and how you're dealing with stuff. And I get it. Listen, some of you, that's just not possible because you got so much going on. You might do better to just go get a job. You might do better to just go work for somebody else and stop with this dream of building a business. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a business owner, if you want to be somebody that's successful, you're going to have to grow up, step up, and realize it's going to take doing some things that you are uncomfortable with. It's going to take you doing some stuff that you've never done before in order to get a result. Oh, and by the way, you're going to suck at it in the beginning. You're not going to be successful right away. Nobody is. That's another hoodwinked fantasy if somebody convinced you of that BS lie that you can just be successful by doing the right things in a business and then boom, paint by numbers, it all works and you bring in money. I'm sorry that you were hoodwinked. I'm sorry that you were lied to. Reality is trial and error. You test messaging on social media. You connect with your target customers. You make yourself vulnerable enough to the point that they could attack you, hurt you, hate you, and say mean things that might touch you deeply inside. Okay? So you open yourself up to that level of scrutiny openly. That's why you got to beat the fear of rejection bug, because you will get rejected. Okay? A lot. And then you get to know your target customer from that level of getting down and dirty with them, what they care about, what they're dealing with. Then the language in your messaging that you're using is the exact language that they're already using talking with you. Okay? Has nothing to do with what you like, what you care about, what you're trying to make happen, a mandate that God put on your life or a calling. It has nothing to do with that. It has 100% everything to do with connecting with the desires and wants of your target customer. I got on a phone call with a lady the other day, and I told her this, and everything she said at the end of it was, well, yeah, but like, how do I get rich doing that? Well, you build a community. You build a community of people. You become a leader. My friends, I'm trying to call you up. You got to step up. Stop looking up at leaders as somebody that you can't be or one day aspire to be, and stand up and become the leader that you were born to be. Then you can lead your customers to buy from you. Okay? It happens by how you perceive yourself. It happens by showing up, by being consistent, by not sugarcoating it, by not being afraid of what people think about us, by not being afraid of, are they going to accept us? Are they going to reject us? And then you get to know another person. You get to know these people on the internet. You get to know them. What are they dealing with? What are they struggling with? What are they going through? What do they want? What is their favorite thing that they care about already? What are they already buying from other people? Okay? So that's how you determine products to sell. And then the messaging, you use the exact language that they would use to describe why they would want it back to them, because you're telling the story of your customer back to them. And then that creates that trust bond connection. People say, hey, wow, this person really understands me. This person really knows what I'm dealing with. This person really offers a solution that I'm looking for. And that will drive your costs down 100 times, 1,000 times. I've seen it. Campaigns. I've seen people, I coach with them. They show me their Facebook ad campaigns. Their messaging is so off. The messaging is what brings the costs down. How you say it. How you connect with your target customer. How do you know what to say to those people? You get in the weeds with the people. You get in the weeds with them. You start conversations. You start talking to strangers that are interested in what you're buying, whether they're buying or not. Oh, by the way, get rid of the ulterior motive of, I'm only talking to this person to make them be interested in buying from me. You got to kill that one. Most of the people I talk to aren't buying products from me. Or they do eventually, maybe 30 days down the road. I was talking to a lady a month ago. She came back 2 months later and bought a class from me. I made $100 off of that conversation just by bringing value into that conversation, into her life, and now became a customer. But I wasn't thinking 60 days ago, I'm going to do this and she's going to buy from me in 60 days. It wasn't even my thought process. My whole thought process is, how can I get to know with empathy this other human being that I'm having a connection with, learn what they want, what they desire, and how can I bring value to their life? And that's what it is. Your messaging, you got to connect with the deep down and dirty feelings of other human beings and get to know them more than you know your product, to be able to have your messaging connect with those people. Okay? So when you do that, sales becomes very easy. You kill that whole idea that you're doing this to get a sale, by the way. You're doing this to manipulate people to buy from you. Nothing that I do is to manipulate any of y'all to buy from me. I'd love for you to buy my courses. I think they'd really help you. I got tons of courses all on messaging and running ads and creating courses and how to successfully build a multi-million-dollar business online for only $97 on my website. But whether you buy those from me or not doesn't affect me at the end of the day. Now, some of you might say, well, Jeremiah, if they don't buy from me, I don't pay my bills at the end of the day. So it does affect me. Your stinking thinking is so freaking small. You have to grow up. You have to start to step up. You have to start to step up and realize, listen, I'm doing this for the long term. I'm doing this for the impact, for the legacy, for what I know that I've been called to do. I'm doing this for so much more than just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, a sale like a used car salesman. Okay? Y'all get from me, if you watch my videos, I'm not a used car salesman. I don't know how to be. But I do know how to bring value to people. And the way that you talk, the way that you communicate, the messaging, the language that you use is the number one thing that determines your ability to sell successfully and how much it's going to cost you to bring in sales in your business. So start focusing on that. Learn to connect with other people around what they want. Not what you want them to want. Not what you think they should want. Not what's going to get them to accept you and not reject you. But what they care about. When you're focused on another person and you get your eyes off yourself, you don't worry whether they accept or reject you. I could care less. Couldn't care less. See, I even said that wrong. Who cares? Oh no, Jeremiah, I lost his credibility by saying a sentence wrong in his video. Some of you would delete the video for messing up like that. Nah. That's not how it works, my friends. All right? So get your mindset right. Start adjusting your messaging in a way that connects with your target customer, and that's going to change everything for you to start to get results in your business. Not looking good enough so that they like you, not getting people to accept you more, not all these things. In fact, you got to kill that thing that's trying to focus on making people like you. You're going to get rejected a whole lot the more you grow in business. For me, rejection from people is an indicator that I'm on the right track and doing the right thing. And that's what it's going to be for you as well. Every single successful multimillionaire that I've met, maybe those that are not millionaires don't say this, but multimillionaires, because that's who I like to hang out with, say that rejection to them, it doesn't matter. People say mean things about them. They just don't even think about it. And that's more of an indicator that they're on the right track than not. And that's what I think is for everybody in business, no matter what you do. Focus on how can I serve my target customer, not what they think about me. And that's going to change everything for you. All right? So we'll talk soon, everybody.